Today I'm making white bean chili, also known as white chicken chili if you add chicken. I make it both ways, with and without the chicken. For this dish, really any white beans will work, but I do prefer navy beans because they have a smooth and creamy texture that makes them ideal for this chili. Since I don't have navy beans right now, I'll be using Great Northern beans, which have a slightly firmer texture, but they'll still work just fine. I'm just going to take the extra step of mashing some up into the soup. I'll put the full recipe for you in the description area of my video, but another main ingredient of this dish are these diced green chilies, and I just love the flavor that these impart in this dish. How to cook beans and the decision to salt while cooking or not is a highly debated subject. I was reading this article on Epicurious and they tried all of these different cooking methods for beans. I'm usually a person that likes to soak their beans overnight, but they did a test and found that soaking only saves 10 minutes of cooking time. Obviously, if you have an Instapot, this doesn't apply to you, but they found that a quick soak method worked best. And in this method, they bring the beans to a boil and then let them soak for an hour off of the heat before returning to the stove to cook until they're finished. I like the idea of this because there are so many times where I forget to soak my beans the night before. In their study, soaking overall didn't save much on cooking time, but flavor-wise, they said that the quick soak was their preferred method. They thought that the beans had the best flavor, and they also said to make sure that you cook in your soaking liquid. And if you wash your beans carefully beforehand, you're not going to mind doing that. Make sure when you add your green chilies in that you didn't accidentally purchase the hot kind. You definitely want to have mild chilies unless your family likes their food very spicy. I'm adding a half teaspoon of Spanish paprika. It's going to give the dish a wonderful smoky flavor. I'm adding in a half teaspoon of ground oregano and a half teaspoon of cumin. Cumin is another spice that's going to give it a wonderful flavor. Some people like more cumin in the dish, but I've found that this is the right amount for my family. If you're making white chicken chili, you can add in either chicken bouillon or chicken broth, which I probably would have added in some of the broth a little earlier to cook my beans in if I was going to go that route. If you're making a version without chicken, then you can use not chicken bouillon, which is a vegetarian option that tastes more like chicken, or you can also use a vegetable broth. And then, like I said earlier, because I used the Great Northern beans and they don't fall apart quite as well as navy beans, I decided to mash some of these. And I should have actually done this before I added the green chilies, but it's fine. At the end, I give it a taste and then adjust any seasonings as necessary, but this tastes perfect to me. If you're adding chicken to this, now is the time to add it in, and this is one of those great recipes to make with a rotisserie chicken. It doesn't take very much at all. And now let's get to the toppings. I just cut up some tortillas into thin strips and fry those to a golden brown. And this year, we discovered that even the stems of cilantro are good. In fact, I would say it might even have more flavor than the ends. This chili is delicious without anything else. You could get away with eating it just like this. You might be wondering why I have all my toppings on the side like this, and it's because I like to add the toppings, then eat some of it, then add some more toppings, and eat some more. Well, you get the picture. For me, the toppings are what elevate this dish to a 10. You might be thinking that cheddar cheese would also be good on this, and I would have to agree. That would also be a tasty addition. I could also see plating this with some sliced jalapenos to add a little more crunch to the mix. I'm using sour cream, but you could also use plain Greek yogurt. I don't think cilantro is a usual topping for this dish, but I do love the added freshness that it gives, and my absolute favorite topping is these tortilla strips. In fact, these are good on many soups, and they're also good on chili. It just adds such a nice finishing touch to this. I think this would also be good with a little Tabasco or Red Hot or Louisiana hot sauce, any kind of hot sauce like that. This is a delicious recipe. I do hope you'll give this one a try. Thanks so much for watching my recipe video. I'll see you in the next one.